Okay folks, we're machining on this old brake puck, and let me see what the diameter of that thing is. Okay, that's a 4.5 inch brake puck, so I'm assuming that's probably a I don't know, off-road construction equipment, maybe a big off-road dump truck or something, I'm not sure. But I've got a bunch of them, but that's some really good steel. Kind of hard, as you can see, that shininess. But I mean, it's turning fine. And I've got the inside board. As you can see, I got to deburr it. But the inside's bored, and now I'm on the outside. I got to, let me see, it's 4.5 inches, and I've got to go down to about 3.5. It's 3.42 is what that's need to OD. And then we're going to do a little lip on it. That bearing's in about 100 thousandths, so we'll go, 99 thousandths or something, and just enough to hold it in there. And then we've got to, of course, drill it and countersink. We'll go ahead and see if we can get it finished up, turned out. All right. Okay folks, we've got this thing turned out. One little change in plans. I was just going to turn this down so it would fit inside and stick it in, countersink it, screw it, but I think that what I'm going to do is set this up in the rotary table. It's going to take a lot more work, but we'll set it up, and I am going to just take off the bottom section and leave enough that I can overlap and come up and around. And what we're going to do is, when we do our cams, instead of putting them into the aluminum, we're going to put them right into the steel, and we can go through into the aluminum, but I mean, I just think that would hold up better than just sticking it in the aluminum. And they should mount something like that anyway. Something along them lines, and this should, maybe give us a little more rigidity anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a pain to set up, when you're working with what you got and you don't have really the right stuff to work with. But we'll set it up, and then like I said, we're going to still take a lot of it off. And I've got enough room to actually, put a couple screws down here too. So, but the lip on it is perfect to hold in our bearing, so we don't have to worry about it walking out. And I think we can get it. I think it'll work out just fine. Anyway, let me see if I can get this thing set up, and like I said, it's going to take a little work, but it'll be worth it in the end. All right. Get up there. Get up there. Still ain't working. Okay folks, I decided to use this dividing head to machine this. I would have used the rotary table, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. It don't have a chuck on it, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to mount on it. It's just a little tiny one. So I didn't know whether this would fit height-wise in here or not, and of course it did. So we're going to get at it and try to get this machine. But this old dividing head came with the old Brown & Sharp mill I got that sit in a field for about 2 years, and I got it all freed up and everything, and I'd cleaned it up a little bit compared to what it was, believe it or not. But one of these days I'm going to go redo the thing, but it works good. It's just looks rough. So I guess sitting in the field for 2 years, that's to be expected. All right, let's see if I can get set up and get this done. Okay, we got the retainer ring cut out. I'm going to dress this up a little bit with a file, and then we're going to see if it fits. Cross your fingers. Okay folks, definitely didn't get it right. It's too big, but it's not a problem. I see now we need to take the corners off and do some more machining on that. Kind of hard to get a measurement because I'm only measuring on one side, and it's just aggravating down inside that hole. So I'm sure they make the proper tools for that, but they're measuring tools, but I don't have them. But it's not a problem. Throw it back in there. I didn't move the table none, so throw it back in there and clamp it up and go ahead and take some more off. And I think like I said, I'll take them corners off. Figure out how I'm going to go about doing that. I don't want to go all the way. I don't want to go farther with the entire circle. I just want the corners on, so we'll figure it out. Alright, show you when I get it figured out here. Okay folks, we've got it, the plate made, it fits in there good, the cams fit really good on top of it. I like it. I like the way it's going to turn out. I think it's going to make it a little stronger. You know, like I said, it's counter board, goes in, holds the bearing in just like it should, and fits right in place. Now what we'll do is drill it, countersink these screws, and these are some socketed cap screws, but they're just countersink. Some more from Kermit. These are 6mm, so they're basically the same thing as a quarter. I mean, just a little different thread pitch, but you know, that'll hold our cams in place. I like it. I think it's gonna work out real good, and I've got some file scratches there, but yeah, it's gonna work just fine, and the clearance down here is perfect. I like it. That'll definitely hold our crank in really good. So, all right, I've got some other stuff I got to go do. So we're good on this for now, and I'll either post this later or I'll add more to it. So you'll know in a minute. Okay, folks. I went ahead and it's late, but I figured I'd see if I could do a little bit. So I went ahead and I got 2 bolts in, 2 of the countersink bolts, and of course they're countersink just about down to the bottom of the plate. So let me pick another one up. You can see that there's about 1/2 inch threads down in it. Won't be a problem at all. And I'm going to add 2 more up here. I just don't want to get where my cam's going to be, my cam pin's going to be. And I'm going to have to get some different ones for the bottom, but I'll probably put 3 in the bottom. And these ones are a little bit too big, and I can't get them far enough over. What I was afraid of is because this is, you know, the aluminum's, the hole's bigger in there. When I drilled it, it would be fine. When I went to tap it, I didn't want it to expand and break where my bearing surface is at. I mean, I could have done it with the bearing in it, but just didn't want to take any chances on it. So we're going to go a little bit smaller with these 3. And then, like I said, 2 more. Cams will go here. And them scratches, you know how if you got your tool a little bit too low in your lathe, you'll get the little nipple in the center. And that's what happened on this, and I filed it off before I pilot holed it. And I left scratches on it. So, it just bothers me. Anyway, alright, well, we'll get back on it maybe tomorrow. If it's not raining, I've got some work to do. I've got a rear end to pull and some stuff to do on that rollback. So we'll be back working on it. But alright, appreciate everybody watching, and till next time, bye.